We're the two holy girls and preaching the game. We're not like the others who get all the fame. Hey guys! So today is a very special day. We're going to record a series, and this is the first part. So I'm going to be reading today, and we are going to be reading Genesis 9:13 through 15. So let's get into it. I have placed my rainbow in the clouds. It is a sign of my covenant with you and with all the earth. When I send my clouds over the earth, the rainbow will appear in the clouds, and I will remember my covenant with you and all living creatures. Never again will flood waters destroy all life. Okay, so Ava, in the Bible, it was talking about, the rainbow. Okay, so I'm excited about this. Yeah, but for those of you who don't know, our rainbow, God's promised rainbow, our rainbow is 7 colors. Yeah, and it's hard to explain because the Bible never says, okay, there's 7 colors in the rainbow. There's not any other colors except the 7 colors. But sometimes, when it's raining and when the sun's out, there's a rainbow, right? The rainbow, sometimes you can't see all 7, sometimes there's 4, sometimes there's 10, sometimes there's never really 6. I never see 6. Yeah, there's always one more color that's blending together because the light. And there's this one thing we know, everyone knows there's 7 colors. If you don't know, then hey, first time. And 7 is God's number. Yeah. So some 7s in the Bible. The tribulation in Revelation is 7 years. And God made the earth in 7 days. Okay, that's 32. And he rested on one day. So there were 6 days of him working. And then one day of him resting. So that's what we call Sunday. Because we rest on Sunday usually, unless you guys have a busy Sunday. Yeah. Like us, we usually have a busy Sunday, but we're still resting and we're looking at the Word and we're going to church, most of us. And so, he made the earth in 7 days. Okay, another one. There's 7 churches in Revelation. And then last one that we have written down, the obvious ones. If there's another one, you can always comment down below because we can sometimes forget. And then that's good for other people to see, okay, there's more 7s. And you can also search it up, how many 7s, 7s in the Bible, and then you can, search it up. Yeah, and you'll be surprised. And also, one thing that's noticeable is the pride count. So, the devil's number is 6, and there was originally 6 colors to the pride rainbow. Yeah. Oh, there are people added more because our shirts. We love them. And so these are shirts from Tyson James. You can just go to the Tyson James store. There's kid sizes now, so that's actually pretty nice. Thank you, Tyson James, for doing that. Thank you. And so, we're going to be talking about Pride all month because Pride Month. Boo! I'm just saying. They try so hard to get noticed, they have to make their own holiday for it. Yeah. And actually, last Easter, this year, they officially made that day Pride Day. You already have a whole month, what else do you need? So there's 7 colors in the rainbow. And so there's 6 colors in the Pride rainbow. But you might be, there's updated versions too. People who added brown and black and teal and light pink, and because everyone wants to feel accepted. Yeah. It's just colors. Yeah, but here's the thing. It was originally 6, and the devil's number is 6, and 7 is God's number, and there's 7 colors in our rainbow. Yeah. Just don't look at that. Then scientific rainbow. If you look at any science thing, school science, or the internet too. It says Roy G. Biv. Roy, red, orange, yellow, G, green, Biv, blue, indigo, violet. Roy G. Biv. And so people added like 10 colors and now 12 colors. Now there's like on the little prize flags, there's like a triangle and it has like all the extras. Yeah, and then they have like 6 colors and then more colors. And they're trying to add more colors, I think. It's awful. Yeah. And so that everyone could be accepted, like Ava said. The reason why Noah was chosen, I know this is just like kind of just whatever. Yeah, we're gonna like in these parts, we're gonna dig into the story of Noah because some people might not know the full story of Noah or like what happened, why God put the waters in the earth. And I actually just learned this recently that before the flood there was this big ice thing and that it purified the air so that people lived a long time. And then also God said, you're not gonna live 200 years. So, and also, there was really not much rain before the flood. Yeah, there was no rain at all. Yeah, and there was rivers and creeks, and that was it. There was no like lakes. So, yeah, and when he was building this big boat on this dry field, everyone was probably looking at this man like, what is that? It's called a boat, and it floats on water. It's like, there's no water though. It's gonna rain. No, it's not. And why it didn't rain? Because all of the ice that was around the earth was off the rain. And you're probably like, well, it can't be that bad. It can't flood. Well, God said you'll never flood the earth again, like we read. I'll never flood the earth again. And then, but there might be floods, but the whole earth, and then this, like the rain went everywhere around the earth. Everywhere, so on this round surface, it was all right, just everywhere. Yeah, if like imagine the earth, and then imagine like a big piece of ice everywhere in the earth. So like when you look through it, it's like looking down at like a pond on ice. It looks cool, and like you can see it like it's blurry, and then it all rains down on the earth everywhere. It probably started raining in one spot and then started raining in another spot and then eventually all. And the reason why God chose Noah, why Noah? Because Noah was the only loyal and good person, and like he's the only person that did what God called, like what God wanted him to do, and everyone else was trying to make life easier for them, doing whatever they wanted. Yeah, that's gonna be part 2. We're gonna learn about what happened. So we're not gonna get into that. This video is about the rainbow, God's rainbow, which again is a covenant between all living things and people, and that God remembers that he will never flood the earth again. So like he doesn't break his promise, which he never will. And he said in the clouds, when the clouds cover the earth, like he means like when it's raining, and like you could see the sun, and like the sun goes through the water, and then like the sunbeams go over to the water, and then like it turns into a rainbow. Yeah. And there's no pot at the end of the rainbow, if you guys didn't know that. No leprechauns. Some people do believe in leprechauns. Yeah. And some people like worship leprechauns and money. And like, we don't need to do that because we have a true God. And leprechauns, tiny people, they were giants, but they're not tiny. And rainbows are just light reflecting, but also a covenant too. And so pride, we don't think that pride is good, like the gay and all the transgender and all the boys being girls and the girls being boys. That's not true, because God made you to be a boy or a girl. Men are made to be men, women are made to be women, women are meant to be with men, and men are made to be with women. Yeah, and in the Bible it says that. And if the Bible doesn't say that, again, put that thing in the garbage. And then, quote from Tyson James' song, whatever's between your two legs is the proof. Whoever gave you the option, just maybe sit down and listen and breaking the news. It's only 2 genders, your parents are jacking you up. What's on your birth certificate is who you are. Yes. It is your birth certificate. If it says you're a chicken, you're not a chicken. No, you're a chicken. Except chickens can be chickens. But chickens don't come out of humans aren't dogs. Yeah. People are not animals. People are people. Humans are humans. Boys are boys. Girls are girls. This that I'm holding, this tells you everything you need to know. To live. You don't need any fancy theories. You don't need fancy whatever to live. Yeah, you don't need your money to live because God will provide. Oh, I was gonna say, the disciples, Jesus said, you leave everything at your hometown and just go. No money, no house, no food, no tents, nothing except your clothes and your sandals. Well, they didn't even have sandals because they didn't have the money. And so they said, if no one welcomes you out of town, don't go there. Just leave. And if people welcome you, that's where you stay and preach and then go somewhere else. Just go where God wants you to go. Yeah, and preach there. And if it's in your neighborhood, great. If it's in your school, great. If it's in your city, great. If it's in your town, awesome. If it's in your family, awesome. If it's to practice with your dog or cat, awesome. Some people, of course, will do anything, try to do anything to get you out of their area because they don't. Yeah, and then if they don't want you there, don't go there. It's funny because, if, Pride supporters and stuff, they put signs everywhere. But if we try to put our feet on the ground and stay firm and preach what we believe, they get offended. Yeah, and we get offended if they say, you're dumb, you're confused. And it's not the people that are bad. Some people are, really bad. It's not the people that are bad. You can see, an awesome person and, still be gay. I know a couple gay couples that, are down, not saying that it's good. Not that it's good. I'm just saying they can be really nice, but they just don't know what's coming. They don't know what's going to hit them. And some people, when they're mean, everyone has a good side and a bad side. And sometimes when they always show their bad side, sometimes it's just the spirit inside of them, the demon inside of them, that's tormenting them to do all this gay stuff and all this pride and all this. It's funny because I don't know if you know what narrow path gay means. It's the streets to hell are easy. Humongous. Yeah, and they're you can go anywhere you want, but God's path is narrow. You will hit some challenges, and that might help you understand God even more. If you're gonna hit some speed bumps, you're gonna you're gonna go off into the woods sometimes and then come back. Just know that as long as you know that this is where God has called you to go, and even if you are in these narrow paths and hit these speed bumps, God's with you. So is the angel he sent down to you. Yeah. God will not force you to do things. He is a gentleman. We have made this clear many times in our videos. He'll let you choose. And sometimes your choice isn't the best choice. Yeah. But you can always come back. Don't think that he won't let you come back. Some people, I know I've heard people say, well, I'm too late now. The only time you're too late is if you're you did. Yeah. You don't have, there's always an opportunity to be saved. You're always saved, but the only way to let that save you, not affect you, but you know what I mean? Help you is if you accept it. Yeah. And then if you're well, I'm sorry, but I'm going somewhere else, God. I'm not going to listen to you. And you can't say, oh, I'm so sorry, God, and then, all right, I got that out of my way. I'm going to go right back to what I'm doing because I know that God has forgiven me in that moment, and I'm just going to go keep doing the things that I had to be forgiven for. Yeah, but still, Jesus will forgive you, but you're still not going to have all the rewards you can in heaven. The disciples are going to have a lot of awards because they're all the diamonds, which is going to be nothing. And they'll have great places in heaven. Not saying that there's bad places in heaven, but like they're gonna be with their friends and they're gonna have fun and they're gonna have like everything they want and need, which you all have in heaven, but they'll have like no awards. Not saying that you won't have awards, but because they got persecuted for doing what was right, and so they're gonna have more stuff. And you're gonna say, well, I'm sorry, you're still gonna go to heaven if you accepted Jesus, but you're still not gonna have a lot of like great stuff. But you're still gonna have great stuff. It's hard to explain.
Yes, because it's like, that's how you know it's like, there's a lot of context to it, because it's not just to some people it's simple, but it's not that simple. You can't just say, I'm sorry, and move on. You have to mean it.
You have to mean it and actually do right, but sometimes you accidentally do something, and it's our nature to lie. We're born sinful. So it's like we can't. It's like some people are perfect and don't sin ever. That's not true. So, and you always have to keep saying, I'm sorry, God, please forgive me.
That's why every time you pray or every time you have a chance, if you have your own little area like your closet, like ask God for forgiveness every time you pray, because those prayers won't be as big of a blessing if you do not ask for forgiveness.
Yeah, I think that's it. Remember, well, if we haven't made this clear, like, pride is bad because the Bible says that only boys can marry girls, and girls can marry boys, and that girls can only be girls, and boys can only be
It used to be illegal for girls to marry girls and boys to marry boys. Now it's a normal thing.
Yeah.
And, like, for pride people, their heaven is hell. Yeah, that is you can, like, what you call heaven and is this burning, fiery, like this people screaming and like doing these awful things left and right. That's I'm just gonna say again, your heaven is hell. Yeah, and our heaven is the heaven, the only heaven.
Yeah. And if you say, well, that's not true because there's other heavens, there's not. Sorry to say it, but there's not. I'm actually not sorry to say that. I'm actually kind of glad to say that because I'm telling the good news that there's only one heaven and that you can go to heaven if you accept Jesus, and we're doing what Jesus told us to do. Even though it might not look like what the disciples did, it's still the same thing.
Some people think, like, stealing is just, some people say stealing or, like, doing awful things is a way to God. Like, not, like, accidentally. Like, some people find God because they've done these awful things, and God, it's like, hey. But some people think it's just, like, you have to do awful things before you can be forgiven. You're always doing awful things, but their definition of awful things is awful things.
Yeah, like killing people.
Yes.
Stealing a lot. Like money. I mean, we need money to live because we have to like do stuff. And I mean, some people can go out and have nothing with them and go, but I feel like people are way meaner now. I don't know if I'm true. I feel like there's more meaner people that will say, no, I'm not giving you anything. Because there's more confusion now than back in the day. They still did stuff like murder and steal, but they did do wrong stuff, but not like pride or like gay. They did that still, but they didn't do it as often as we do. Not saying that we do it as other people do. Okay, so I think that's it. Yeah, please like, subscribe, hit that bell, don't break your phone, and comment your prayer requests, which we haven't had.
No, in fact, we haven't had much comments at all. I get like, there's probably people watching right now that can't subscribe or comment, but
that's okay. I mean, it's okay. Still, you're following us, you're sharing probably. Hopefully you are, because if you're not, please do. And so comments give us, like, it shows YouTube, okay, people like them, so they show more
on like the recommended or featured or whatever. Yeah, that's really it. So,
Bye.
sorry about that. It's like when birds are put it's getting a little cloudy.